just do a quick unboxing, well, kind of unboxing of the True Tarot. I've decided to go ahead and get the misprinted version of the deck. I went ahead and just said, you know what? I want this deck now, and I'm going to go ahead with the misprinted version. Hey, Keith, how's it going? I'll show you the True Black Tarot. But he ahead and said, I want to get the misprinted deck now. So this is not the final edition of the True Black Tarot, and I guess I could get the final edition if I wanted to. Hi, Simon, how's it going? If I wanted to another, it would not be the end of the world, but I would probably have to pay him for the deck to get the not so messed up version. But I decided to go ahead and get the misprinted version of the True Black Tarot. So I'll show you through the cards. And I actually didn't care about the Hierophant being mislabeled, done. I'm doing very great, Simon. I miss all of you. So it did come with this kind of paper, this cool fuzzy things, but I know that, ooh, it's big. Oh my gosh, it's steep. Oh my gosh. I'll show you everybody the deck. So here's the deck. It's actually a very hefty deck, and it was in a very steep box. So I couldn't wait for the final edition of the True Black Tarot, but I wasn't. Where's the tea? Where have you been? I'll go ahead and reveal tea later. But I'm just going to go ahead and do a little unboxing of the True Black and a kind of first impression reveal of the deck. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for a year for this deck, so I'm kind of like, oh! So, yeah, I didn't mind about the misprint cards, and I originally decided to wait for the final print or edition of this deck, and then after January came and gone, I was like, no, I want the deck now, so I'll just go ahead and take the deck. Oh my gosh, that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, that is like a, oh my goodness, sexy matte deck. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at this box. I'm like touching this box going, oh my gosh, it's so nice. I have never had a box. Oh, how does it open? Oh, I'm opening it upside down, everybody. Hold on. So let me go ahead and do it this way. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So let me put this aside 5 seconds and do the book. Yeah, I'll have to talk about tea and everything else like that in another chat, but I kind of want this chat to be exclusive to the True Black Tarot. Oh my god, it's so nice. It feels so nice. So this is the booklet, and let me actually do this because I don't know if he's going to ever rewatch this video or not, but a big shout out to Arthur Wang, who has made this deck possible. Oh my gosh. He was looking for quality. He was looking for just an experience. That's all I could looking for, experience based when you hold it. And I think just from what I've seen so far, he's captured it. Oh my goodness. That glare. Oh my goodness. So let me see if I could do that. Yeah. So I'm not going to go ahead read the book because that I think is evading some copywriting. So let me go ahead and find the full card. I've seen most of the images of the deck, but I haven't seen all of them. I know he's been emailing them all for the most part, but I kind of see them out of order and all that stuff. So, and in some ways, I've seen in all of the images of the deck, and other ways, I have not seen it all cohesively all together in an unboxing video or anything like that. I kind of wanted an unbiased review. I guess that's what was looking for when I wanted to do the deck. Is I wanted an unbiased kind of reaction to the deck. And I'm kind of planning to do that too with the Dusk to Onyx Tarot when it comes in. I'm going to be doing a live unboxing for that one too. So it's just some experiences and some things I'm planning for the future. So for the full card, I'll go ahead and read a little bit of the full card. He has some keywords on the top of it, and it says beginning, inexperience, spontaneity, openness. The Fool is the pinnacle of possibilities and potential, like a child who has learned a little and has yet to choose a path in life. This card indicates an abundance of choice through hints at a lack of information or experience to choose the most optimal route. Ooh, the infant is surrounded by shapes in the darkness, while an adult may fear what is hidden from view. The infant is not yet learned to fear the unknown and is struck with a sense of wonder. An unclear path is scary, but can also bring new discoveries and untold futures. I love how he kind of made a little mysticism. Ooh, unseen futures. Oh, that is so awesome. And it actually has some little keywords of the symbol. Is this light would cooperate with me today. He actually has some keywords of the symbolism that he's used in the artwork here. The child is surrounded by forms of the four suits, fiercely beating wings of the wand, and other things like that. And it actually got some keywords here too of like the traditional meanings, I think. And he kind of has a little bit of the additional artwork. Ooh, I might have to pull that out. And so he talks a little bit about the artwork. That's amazing. It's a plot of Lawrence Attractor is shown. Named for Edward Lorenz, a pioneer of chaos theory and origin of the term butterfly effect. Ooh, the image traces a path that circles one side and can randomly switch to the other. In Lorenz's words, chaos, when the present determines the future, but the approximate present does not approximately determine the future. Ooh, chaos theory applies to deterministic and measurable futures, but are highly sensitive to conditions in the beginning. Even the slightest of change can invade any future predictions, causing apparent chaos. Oh my goodness. So that kind of reminds me a little bit of another deck actually recently I've unboxed did this past year live. And the deck that I'm thinking of is the what was that tarot deck? It was one that I've done the live unboxing for, and I did the readings and stuff of it. I'm trying to remember. It was a Kickstarter deck. I see the images and I see the deck in my head. It was, shoot. This is where I pull out my phone and look through my videos again. I think it was the tarot. I know it has tarot in the name of it. Shoot. I forget all these things. It's been a little while. I know it's been a little while, and so I'm going on my phone and kind of going through my list like, what was the tarot deck's name? I know that I've done one recently. It was the Tarot of the Oh my goodness. Maybe I accidentally deleted the chat. Oh my gosh. I don't think I did. Oh my goodness. Or it was earlier than I thought. It was Tarot Restless. Oh my goodness. That was the deck. Tarot Restless. So yeah, some of the wordings in this True Black Tarot that he has with the chaos theory and stuff like that from that he was writing in the paragraph kind of reminded me of the Tarot Restless, where he was kind of using poetic things describing the deck and kind of went off in his own thing. Although I think Arthur Wang tries to do a little bit more of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith without being traditional too, which I like. I like a little bit of different, as everybody knows. I am tired of same cookie cutter decks over and over again sometimes. And so thing somebody does that is a little bit different is amazing. And I like how there's a writing on the inside of the box. It is only the darkness that we see the stars. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, let me go ahead and try to get this deck out. Oh boy. And it's a magnetic closure. I didn't know that. So, okay. Oh, so let me go ahead and pull this card out. This is like that title card created, finely crafted artifacts, True Black. And this is the back, and it has like that really interesting matte finish to it. I think there was something on the surface of it a little bit, but that was not so bad. The cardstock itself, I feel okay bending this card, so let me go ahead and test out the cardstock for a second. I would say it's about 350 Gs, maybe 400 G cardstock. It might be 400 G. I have to, if Arthur's out there and could comment in the section below, he might correct me and say it's 400 Gs. Get your facts right. But it does feel like a thicker cardstock. It's definitely like got some weight. Definitely could see a little bit. I don't think you could see it really in the camera, but there is a lot of weight to this cardstock, and it just and it won't give so easily. So I wonder how it'll shuffle when we shuffle it at the end of the video. So, okay, enough of that bragging. And I like how he edged it. I don't know if he had it pre-ed. I don't know how he had it edged. I don't know if he did it on black paper or how he edged the deck, but that is gorgeous. So let me go ahead, put this down here. So there's a lot of the foiling, and I kind of was a little worried about my lighting here because of that. A lot of that foiling is not going to show up. The white isn't going to show up. Oh, it does show up a little bit. I don't know how well it's going to. Some of those bright whites are going to show up in the camera because the camera does not do the images justice whatsoever. But oh my goodness, this is such a beautiful card. Oh my goodness. It's kind of hard to see, and like I said, the camera wants to pick up the white. But it looks like I'm trying to figure out what is the best angle for the cards, because I'm not sure if you guys are getting the full effect of the images on this camera, because this camera is only, to me, from what I'm seeing on the screen, is only showing that white. It's like almost, ooh. Let me see that. I thought I saw some. All right. Well, we will try as I go through the deck. But I've seen this one, which is the full card, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it has all this foil embossing all over it. Oh my goodness. This is definitely a deck that was worth waiting for. Oh my gosh, this Magician card is amazing. And I don't think you can see it, but oh my gosh. He has like an orb. Oh, like an orb. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, that's better. Like an orb right there in the center of his chest there. So I think it's my computer monitor screen that is making that glare impossible. So I'll try to do this with my hand. Oh my gosh. And I love the imagery that he chose for this. Oh my goodness. That's a beautiful lady right there. The high priestess. I actually wouldn't mind the misprint at all if I knew it was going to be that like that black embossing here, because honestly, it's enough to see what the card is, but I don't think it would distract me from reading the cards, though. So I would have got this deck back in December if I knew that it was going to be like this black embossing. I thought it was going to be like that white embossing. I think he really wanted to be true black, but bump. I know it's a bad pun. And this one is the Empress card. Oh, she's beautiful. I'm seeing these images upside down, so you have to forgive me. I'm actually looking at some of these images for the first time, so you gotta all forgive me too. This one's the Emperor. Oh my goodness. He kind of has almost like that dare I say Jesus aspect of him, which is very beautiful. I actually like it. And this is the card that was miswritten. It's a Hierophant, and the E and the I are swapped in the backwards. But I really don't think it's that bad. I really don't. I think it's not distracting. Like I said, if I knew it was going to be like that black embossing for the lettering, I would have just went ahead and got this as soon as it came out as the misprinted edition. Definitely very beautiful deck. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. The Lovers. Oh my goodness. Some of the cards has like some things on it, but it's not like any peel up or anything. It's just like things like when it got a little dusty, like that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, this is one of my. I really loved the majors in this deck. This is a very stunning deck. I don't know how to describe it to you guys if you guys can't really see it well in the image, if it lights too much. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful strength. I love the snake. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, that is so gorgeous. This was one of my first images I've seen of the True Black Tarot, which is the Hermit. And my goodness, I just love that profile there. Just love it. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This is going to be always bad video unboxing. Oh my. This was one of the first images I've seen too, which is the Justice card. But I have to say, this is my favorite. One of my favorite top 10 favorite Justice cards. I think I'm actually going to do, and part of my video playlist is redo an updated 22 faves hashtag that Stephen Bright did. I did that last year, but I think as far as this year goes, the 2019 update is a much needed. That is such a beautiful Hangman. I actually really love the Hangman. Oh my goodness, look at that death. Oh my goodness. And shout out to those models that Arthur chose for his images. Okay. This is something about the artwork. I don't haven't really followed too well about, and Arthur probably is gonna give me that finger wag if he saw this video and said it is digital art and all digital art. But correct me if I'm wrong, Arthur. Again, this is photo manipulated / digital painting of your models, and you could correct me later if you ever did see this video, or somebody in the comments could correct me. But I really think that this is like a digital painting of photographs, or a photo manipulation of and / digital painting of his models. And I know he did had many people model for his this deck, and did photograph shoots and things like that for this deck. Oh my god, that is beautiful Temperance. That is a divinely beautiful Temperance. I'm just gonna have to see how this deck reads. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is a beautiful Devil card. Oh my goodness. I love that tower. And I love it that it's a person and not a building for once. Can I just say that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just said it. I'm glad that the tower for once is a person and not a building. Sometimes I feel like tower cards are supposed to be a representation of the soul and a person and the events of a person's life around them. To actually see the tower card as a person is just divinely amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that's a gorgeous star card. Sorry, everybody. I'm hogging the images. This one is the moon. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is a gorgeous sun card. Look at that, everyone. Oh, that's a beautiful Judgment card. It kind of reminds me of that Angelarium Oracle. I wonder if he had a little bit of influences from that Angelarium Oracle with this. Some of the images, not all of them. And it's okay to have influences, I think, and the artistically speaking. As long as it's not twinsies, that's the no-no. It's okay to be influenced, but it's not okay to have twinsies. I know that. And the world. Okay, oh my gosh, those majors are absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. And I think this is wands. Yeah, I think that's the wands. The feather right here, I think is the wand suit, the Ace of Wands. That's interesting that he would choose a feather for that. Oh, and that's like Japanese writing or it looks like Japanese or some sort of writing that is in the scroll and script here. It's actually very beautiful. I can't really see very well. I would have to get my itty bitties out, but it is very unique. This is this would be this is where I said, yeah, this would be the wands, because would be like the Two of Wands here, whereas the World card and kind of looking across the world. So already my first impressions on the minors, this is kind of where I kind of didn't see all the images, as some of the minors I think got lost in my emails. And so I kind of saw them, but halfway didn't see them. So it's kind of like a unbiased first reaction to some of these images. And I have to say that it's a very simplistic deck so far. From what I'm seeing of the images, I see that this deck would be really challenging for a beginner tarot reader, because, oh my goodness, that's beautiful. Yeah, because some of it doesn't follow the traditional right away, and some of it does. I just kind of intuitively feel like this would be a really challenging first deck if you're not okay. Go to bed, Simon. I am so glad that you got to see some of this, but you can rewatch it later, Simon. Love you, but lots. Have a good night. But yeah, I really think this image is not like anything that I've seen for a Three of Wands, even though it's very, very beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's a very beautiful deck and beautiful imagery. It just, I think for a beginner, it would be very hard to see. Go ahead and read with this deck for the first time. And the Four of Wands. I love that. It's like a phoenix. Oh my goodness. And it's with those beautiful leaves and coming out from the deep. Ooh, this kind of has like that Gandalf staff style, that Five of Wands. Look at that. And it also kind of has almost a Pippish feel without being a Pip deck, too. That's another thing about this deck that I've noticed, is that it has a very Pip deck feel without being a Pip deck. It's clearly very close to the Rider-Waite, because this is kind of like the man riding on the horse, riding out in victory, and you can see the flags almost in like a victory and this helmet here and stuff. Very, very nice. Very, very nice, Arthur. Oh my goodness, that's the Seven of Wands. That's beautiful. Eight of Wands. Oh my goodness. I like the simplicity of the images. It's very, like I said, very Pip deck feel. Has a beautiful Pip deck feel. Oh my gosh, Nine of Wands. That is gorgeous. With the wolf, the spotlight. Absolutely amazing. And this is the Ten of Wands, like the burdens. Kind of almost reminds me in a strange way how the simplified the pips are. Kind of reminds me of the Wild Unknown tarot in a way. Not in a, like I said, not like in a twinsy way, but I mean like just the simplicity of the minors kind of reminds me of the Wild Unknown in a small way. With the beetle and it has a very natural feeling. Actually, this deck, I've noticed, just at first impressions, has a very natural earth feeling, as well as a very modern, sleek twist to it, which Arthur, I know, clearly wanted in this vision. It's the Page of Wands. I'm just trying to see his face for a moment there. Ah, that's interesting. And that very pretty page. Oh, this was one of my favorite images when I saw the first images of the deck. Is the Knight of Wands. It's kind of almost has a feminine. I know that it's like a unisex LGBT friendly deck. He was trying to promote that when he was doing the deck, but I love almost the feminine body to the Knight of Wands. Actually, I would say it would be more feminine feel versus a masculine feel. When I usually think of archetypes go for the Knight of Wands, usually I think of a more masculine body. So I think it's very intriguing that Arthur decided to go with a more feminine body for the Knight of Wands, even though normally if I was to do a deck or make my own deck, I probably would make the Knights and the Kings a more masculine feel, whether it being unisex or not. Whereas I think I would try to keep the feminine bodies or archetype bodies with the queens and the pages. But I think he did this one very well. I love how he did it anyways. I love the unisex ness of this deck too. And that's a beautiful queen. Beautiful, beautiful queen. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I could shelter it. She has like a smelling of a rose or something like that on her face. It's really hard to see in the light, but she's really gorgeous. And very, like I said, this is the king, which is very cool. I like him. He has a sense of authority to him, which I would say yes to the King of Wands archetype. He definitely would be one with the sense of authority, I think. Um, when you're speaking about archetypes. And I love the cups in this deck. Okay, this is one of the things that really got me like, ooh, this is delicate. This deck has a delicateness to it too. Is the cups have this beautiful glass, delicate glass that he has painted onto there. I think it's a digital painting, like I said earlier. It's very delicate, and it's like that dove coming out from the glass as the glass is spilling. Ooh, that Two of Cups. The goldfish in the glasses. And this actually goes with my meanings for Two of Cups too, very cohesively, because for me, Two of Cups either can be a union of two souls together in that sacred way, and it has like a reversal meaning along with it, just in case if you read it upright too and you saw this imagery. So I've also noticed that in this deck too, is in the upright imagery, you could either have the just only see the fish cohesively loving each other and showing its reflection of that love, or you could see the fish and the breaking of the arrow, and that could mean like love is not so good, even though it's an upright position. Sometimes readers like to read reversals, but they don't read reversals as in this kind of position, but they read reversals in the upright still, and they notice certain imagery stand out to them with a reading more than others, which I like what Arthur did there. Oh my gosh, that is a wonderful Three of Cups. That is so delicate and so beautiful. I love that bouquet that he did. I'm trying to also put my face against the camera here and just kind of look at these delicate little details of the flowers and stuff. Let me see if I could make the oh, I can a little bit. Oh my goodness, look at those. Oh my gosh, look at that. I might have to do that with some of these images now that I know that it could be that. Four cups. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. Like a weeping, that weeping willow. Come on. Focus. I don't think you could see that image very well, but it's like that weeping willow. Gorgeous. And it's like a flower in that weeping willow right there too. It's very delicate. Oh, that beautiful Five of Cups. Last year, I had another Five of Cups year in my hashtag year ahead readings, which I'm gonna do a hashtag year ahead wrap up um, this month. I'm actually planning to do a hashtag year ahead videos again and start vlogging again with the hashtag year ahead. And oh my goodness, it was like one of those images for me last year that was just like, yes, I could feel that being that Five of Cups last year. Oh my goodness, this is the Six of Cups. I love this though. It has candies in the cups, like childhood candies and stuff. So it kind of goes with the Rider-Waite-Smith theme. If I could get it to zoom. Come on. Come on. Come on, stop looking at the background. Come on. Come on. This card is my computer wants to look at the background. Ah, there we are. And it's like that little candy wrapper there. That's a very beautiful detail. And this is like that genie in the bottle. I love Seven of Cups for the genie in the bottle of the unreal. When I read for Rider-Waite Smith for the Seven of Cups, I love reading it as the unrealistic dreams and expectations. And that Seven of Cups for me is an important card for like love readings when I do love readings. Because Seven of Cups really embarks on that unrealistic dreams and expectations. And this kind of really is like that genie in the bottle look. Oh my goodness, it's very beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that jellyfish. I have to say, he's so cute. Look at his face. Look at his face. Oh no, you can't see his face. But his little face, has got those little eyes and the little tentacles, and it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And those cups everywhere. Those are beautiful. Oh, for those fox lovers out there, they're going to love that 10 of cups. Oh my gosh. And he's just sleeping on the nest of. Well, let me see if I could. Yeah, you could see it a little bit, but you can't really see his face. That's the problem. But yeah, he's just kind of like nestled there with all those pleasures and the fruits and the grapes. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Oh, that's the Nine of Cups. My bad. That's like the happy, pleasurable fox. I knew that. I knew that. Oh my gosh. This 10 of Cups is absolutely delicate. Like I said, I don't know if you can see this. Oh, you can see it now. Look at the curtain with cups. Oh my goodness. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Oh, love that Page of Cups. She's has a very daintiness to it, and she's holding like that rabbit on the shoulder. If I could have it see it, which it won't. She's carrying a yellow glass cup there too. And there is my Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is my special card at the moment as far as my Knight of Shining Armor one of these days. But he, oh my goodness, he has that beautifulness to him. He's just elegant. Oh, that Queen of Cups with the goldfish and the fish around her. That is definitely elegant. If I could get it to zoom. Let me see if I could do it this way and try to hide that background. If I hide enough of that background, it has no choice but to zoom in, it seems. Yeah. It wants to zoom in on the keyboard. That I actually got to probably find a place. Oh, I found something. I was gonna say I got to find a placemat or something like that to hide that background, because that background is like stark. Not stark white, but that background is so busy that the camera wants to focus on the keyboard. There we are. All right. So there we are. We might be able to see some of it. It might actually zoom in. Who knows? Let's see. Come on. All right. Come on. No, you want to. You're thinking about it. Okay. That's as good as we're going to get with that. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Take a look at that. Oh my gosh, that's a really cool King of Cups. I haven't seen one this awesome in a while. This kind of reminds me of one of those really cool. I forgot which deck it was. There was a deck out there that had an awesome King of Cups that was just kind of this beautiful, delicate, and vulnerable. Just absolutely love this. I don't. Okay, here you go. It's just delicate. He's just that delicate, beautiful. There's something about this deck in a non-sexual way that part of the beauty of this deck is the body of the of the the people and stuff. They're not like average Joe people. They're going to be a little bit more supermodel-y, but there is a certain appeal to these bodies that these models had that it's kind of like art in itself. They had a very beautiful I'm guessing he still used pretty people for this, but that's part of the appeal of the deck is it's absolutely gorgeous. The whether they're that flawless for real or not is up to debate, but oh my goodness, it's still stunning. It makes the deck stunning. And this is an Ace of Wands. So, okay. He did follow that the swords are fire and the wands are air kind of thing, kind of from this imagery alone. It kind of has that fire sword look, which I have no problems with, but sometimes people have opinions about those things. This is a beautiful two of swords, and this is a cool one for balance and conflicts too. And that they have a paper here too saying a few things. Ooh, that is powerful statement heart. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous heart. Ooh, that four of swords with the lilies and the arrows shooting downwards. Oh, how Egyptian. Oh my goodness. And this is the Six of Swords. Oh my goodness. Right there on the bottom has like these boats in the fog. That is really cool. Navigating through the abyss, it seems. Nine of Swords, the rat. Eight of Swords. Oh my gosh. Kind of has a certain perseverance about this one, even though it's traditionally the person's like caught in the middle, blindfolded and stuff like that. And kind of has that certain perseverance energy to it, which I really like. I've heard some people not really being crazy about this one, which is the Nine of Swords. I've heard people not being crazy about this one because of the bunny getting stabbed right through the chest with the roses and stuff. So yeah, if you don't like animal cruelty in your deck, maybe this deck is not for you, but it is definitely a wonderful deck. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Even though his friends are dead, he's kind of rising above it and kind of persevering. Oh my gosh. I love that rapier sword and the Page of Swords. This one I would have made a little bit more feminine, but as you could see, he chose a more masculine body type for the Page of Swords. But this is one of the images that I really liked when I first saw this deck. Oh, this is the image that I really liked when I first this was like the card that sometimes a deck has the card that you're like, yes, this is no questions asked. I'm pre-ordering this deck, or I'm buying this deck right now. This is one of those images, which is the Knight of Swords. This was like definitely one of those cards that I just said yes to the dress, because everything I think of the Knight of Swords is being like this archetype right here with that almost like that rigid knight uniform and the rapier almost styled swords in a very adventurous way. And that Queen of Swords, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this King of Swords was wicked too, in a good way. I liked him a lot. Also like that King of Cups, he kind of has that sleekness that is very delicate and beautiful. And I love the butterfly symbolism with that too. Absolutely gorgeous. I say that the highlights for this deck for me is definitely the court cards and the majors. Not saying that the minors are not beautiful too, but they definitely go with the deck. But this is, I feel like that's where this deck really shines the most, is the majors and the court cards. And we'll do some example readings at the very end and do some example layouts with this deck too. The Two of Pentacles. This is actually one of the suits that I really didn't see all too much when in the production, is the Pentacle suit. I like his choice of coins, and look at that beautiful 3 and giving that one life. That 3 of that water, that life-givingness to the pentacle. Oh, this is so gorgeous with that matte black background with the blue butterflies and the spider web. Oh my gosh, isn't that like that is just beautiful. And there's actually a certain Thoth-ness to this deck that I really enjoy too. I am a connoisseur of Thoth decks as much as Rider-Waite-Smith decks. If you followed my channel long enough, you would know that about me. And so this deck, it kind of has a certain Thoth-ness to it too, without being a Thoth deck at all. It's more of leans towards the Rider-Waite-Smith than a Thoth, but that particular card, that 4 of Pentacles, oh my god, is absolutely gorgeous. And it kind of almost had that Thothy feel to it, whereas the colors are a little bit more rainbowy, a little less silver, gold, and white. Actually, speaking of that, there's a certain color theme to this deck, and I feel like this card kind of breaks away from that theme a little bit. It still goes with the rest of the deck, and I've got to have to see this deck all laid out before I can make my final judgments. But there are some cards in this deck that I've noticed that it kind of breaks away from the theme a little bit. You know, most of the theme is going to be silver, white, and gold. And of course black, but I'm definitely noticing that there are some hints of green in there and the hints of blue that might, in a spread, be a little distracting. We'll have to see when they're all side by side, but I want to see how it all will work cohesively together before I make my judgments on that one, because I haven't done a reading with this yet. So just as an flip through, I'm going to see that some people might have a problem with that as far as usability goes. And a lot of people do like the more pippy kind of style decks, but like I was saying earlier, this is definitely not a beginner deck in that way. because some of the images are a little bit more, I'd say, intuitive. They're not completely following a Rider-Waite-Smith system either. They're kind of more intuitively based. Definitely beautiful there. I definitely want to do more deck walkthroughs in the next year of 2000. This year of 2019 too, as well as doing a redo of the hashtag 99 faves, 16 faves. I probably would also do a redo of the top 5 decks and stuff of 2019, and I'll probably label it as such, like an updated videos and stuff. But this is just absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh. This is my card of the year, actually. And this is the elephant, which is the 10 of coins. I actually really like this one. This is very beautiful. This beautiful 10 of coins. I might actually have this deck as my altar deck. I don't know yet. It's really gorgeous deck, though. This is the page of coins. Definitely very beautiful. Just open it. I need a moment. Yes. Well, unfortunately, Christy, my camera is not doing it justice at all. Not giving this deck any kind of justice at all. But that is one of the cards that I absolutely loved when I first saw the images, which is the Knight of Coins. I loved this. This was like followed the archetype what I thought of Knight of Coins too. And this is the Queen of Coins, which is absolutely gorgeous. And she's very earthy. It kind of almost has that little bit of an Adam and Eve-ness to it, where it almost looks she's holding an apple and that snake. I love it. Love it anyways. And then this is that beautiful King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. I love who he chose for the King of Pentacles too as a model. It really brings out that beautiful King of Pentacles there. Oh, and then we got a bonus card. It is the Annette. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful extra card for like a beautiful fetus and the snake. I would have to read up on that, but that is beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm going to take out all the extra cards, even though it could be read with the extra cards. I'm going to take out my extra cards, put it in the bottom of the box, and put my book in the bottom of the box. And I think I'm going to go ahead, and I might make a few people cringe, but I'm going to riffle shuffle it. I think this deck, whoa, it's a little thick. For a riffle shuffle, this deck I see could be a problematic. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not gonna riffle shuffle. Nah. I might okay. My hands are so small, it's Kirsty. Okay. Okay, so my split in half. Okay. I think this is could you correct me, Christy? This deck is 400 G car stock, right? Yeah. Oh, never mind. My hand is so small and the deck is actually really thick. Okay, so this is it in half. So that's one half. Second half. Oh my gosh. So this is like at least 400G cardstock, because this thing, I have to say, is the one of the more thicker decks I have owned. This might be almost 450G, Christy, because if there is such a thing as 450G, because I have to say that this deck and the Tarot Noir are like the two most thickest decks I've owned. I'm just feeling this alone, and this is like comparable to the Tarot Noir, and that one was for at least 400 or more G's. This deck is kind of reminds me of my Tarot Noir as far as shuffling it goes. So I'll have to see how I want to shuffle it. I wanted to do at least a few shufflings with it, like just a few riffle shuffles just to get it sorted through. I do tend to do an overhand with my indie decks just naturally because of the cardstock difference between the mass-produced and the indie deck. So for overhand shuffling, I think this deck actually is not so bad. And usually when I'm one of those people, I randomly, when I clean up my deck readings and stuff, I randomly put cards in random places in the deck so that when I do my riffle shuffles and my overhand shuffles, that they're already in random places. So they're not going to be just randomly, just put on top. When I'm done with the reading, I usually put it in random places in the deck. That's usually how I do it. It's kind of funny how I do that, but I usually would keep it in random places, put the cards back in random places. So, okay, to crack this, this is a really nice deck. If this was like it is everything, no regrets. Oh, yes, for sure, Christy. This deck is definitely a no regrets deck. I am actually almost regretting not to get my custom made box for this deck. I know there was an option on Kickstarter last year to have your own custom box or custom made box for this deck. And I opted out on that one, and I'm almost going, I wanted my custom made box. Oh, hi, Phoenix. What's up? I'm doing good. I am hanging in there. And we're going to go ahead and make this deck show us a few example readings. I see you live and doing an unboxing for sure, Christy Moore. I got a lot of crap and a lot of news, but that is definitely something I'll say for a private chat. This one is going to be a public chat, and I'm going to definitely save some of my tea that I have in a more private chat, and it probably will be deleted as soon as I posted it, after I post it, kind of thing. Yeah, Zach, did you order this deck? So let me go ahead and do that again. Like the split it in half, shuffle it, and then shuffle the other half. Yeah, let me do that because I feel like I want to get it a really good. Yeah, I've been thinking about all of you too. I'm really, really sad that I have not been a part. I feel like I haven't been a part of the community so much since crap has happened to me. But I am just so happy to actually do an unboxing and doing things back in with my people again. Deck does not deserve this deck. This deck is definitely beautiful and special. So yeah, I went ahead and shuffled those things again. So anybody has a reading, a question? I could do a 3-card reading just to show an example reading and layout of this deck and how I would try to read with this deck. I do kind of do that with all my decks that I've first cracked open is just to at least do a few example spreads and readings and how I'd read with a deck. So if anybody has a question and want to be a crash test on me, just let me know in the comments, and I'll do like 1 or 2 example readings, and I'll try to stick it to only 2 people, because that I don't want to go crazy thinking that it will be okay. I will do that. I'll ask. The first question is does Tiger's Abyss Zach deserve the the True Black Tarot? So let's go ahead and ask the cards. Let's go ahead and ask, because Zach can't take that back now, because I gotta. When was Zach go live next? Okay, I'll do those 2 readings, and I'm gonna cut off there because I don't want to make this a reading chat. I just kind of want to make it as a reveal of the tarot deck and some example spreads. So okay, let's do if he deserves this deck first, and because that was the one that I saw, and then I'll do when he will go live next. And that probably is tomorrow night or tonight after I am live. But let's go ahead. Simple answer no. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and see if he deserves this deck. So does Zach Tiger's Abyss deserve this deck? So let's see what we get. Ah, we got some interesting ones. We got some interesting cards for that answer. So we got the Emperor, all about your father. All about the father, and all about adulting maybe too. Chariot is moving forward with your decision, and 8 is all about that work mentality. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think from intuitively, just from what I'm seeing the cards here, is that Zach is thinking more of adulting issues. And he's kind of moving forward with his question and going ahead, and if you really wanted this deck in the future, you're just gonna have to work to get it, because apparently it's not. He definitely needs some structure and put some work into it. I don't know if he's already ordered the deck or not, so it's I'm just saying it's in a more of like an adulting thing. I kind of energetically felt like the Emperor card was more about an adulting, trying to structure things like how he would move forward with this deck and decision and work it. So can he handle it? Maybe it takes some work to handle this deck. It is a pretty chunky deck. Annabelle, unfortunately, I'm not really doing too many. I'm not doing really readings at the moment. I will do a live reading chat later. I'm just kind of doing some example spreads with this deck because this is my first time using this deck. So unfortunately, Miss Annabelle, I'm gonna do this do live readings at another time. I was just only taking 2 questions, and I've already had my 2 questions, unfortunately. And my second one is, when will Zach go live next? So he can't handle the chunky one. Ooh, we'll see. So when will Zach go live next was the second question. But I kind of wanted to show a few example spreads. I wasn't really going to do too many readings tonight as far as tarot readings. So let's see what the cards say about Zach going live next. Oop. My hands are almost not big enough for even overhand shuffling. We'll see. I think even my grandchildren will be able to riffle shuffle this. I can not be able to riffle shuffle it. Oh, tea. Because okay. The reason why I went, oh, tea is because the King of Cups is all about thinking about his emotions. And I think Zach might not be going live tonight because he's thinking about his emotions. And the Queen of Wands all it has to do with it's about emotional conviction. So maybe he does not something that he has some convictions about. I think I think that is a key word that I'm feeling like it's a emotion. He has some thinkings of emotions and convictions going on. And also I see a Page of Swords, which is all the the physical communications. It's about communicating to others. Oh my gosh. He's I think he is thinking that this deck is calling people out. Oh my gosh. Just saying maybe he's not ready for it tonight, but he might be ready for it soon. Like today, he's a little bit more thinking about his personal life, maybe. That's what I'm getting, that there's some personal things afoot. Because thinking of emotions and emotional convictions and stuff, and there I have talking about his physical world, and maybe he's going to do a tea chat, maybe. Maybe he is going to go live and he's going to do a tea chat, because that's a Page of Swords archetype is a physical conflicts, is all about the tea chats. Oh, so Zach, you naughty thing, you were gonna go live, but you were gonna talk more about tea than doing tarot readings. It's all about the tea, isn't it? I see you doing those tea chats. I get my notifications like everybody does. I'm giving him a hard time, but he's doing just fine. But yeah, let me go ahead and do some other example. So when I'm talking about, I usually put cards back in random places. This is what I'm talking about. Usually when I do a reading, I do this anyways, no matter what deck it is. I kind of put cards back into its normal thing. So let me go ahead and shuffle it, just randomize it. I'm not going to be doing a reading, but I just kind of want to see some layouts that I would personally use for like my own tarot chats or my tarot reading chats. So I want to see how some of the spreads would look with this deck. It's gonna be hard to see all the spreads with this camera layout, because it is kind of at a downward angle, and it's not doesn't show all the cards and all that stuff. So it's not the greatest camera setup in the world, but it will at least give an idea of how it will look. So go ahead and okay, so that's kind of an example layout. So we kind of see the 3-card spread. Let me see if I could pull this up and show my infamous 6-card spread. Because I usually do the 6-card spread a lot. And I've actually been really into the 6-card spread lately. As far as doing live videos and chats. This is kind of more of a Lenormand-esque kind of spread. I've seen who's her face? Kelly from Truth and Story doing a lot of these kind of 6-card spreads with Lenormand cards. And I kind of read this as a Lenormand spread for tarot too. I kind of do like a Tarot Lenormand when I do this layout. Is I kind of do this as like the cards touching the past, kind of the present, and then kind of the future. And that's usually when I do these 6-card spreads. I know, who's her face? I am very technical, Phoenix. Who's her face? So okay, this with the 6 cards, which one represents for you? I want to branch out a bit. Okay, so Christy, I actually want to do some more videos as far as card layouts and spreads go, but this is kind of a Tarot Lenormand kind of spread layout for me. I know this spread is very common more for Lenormand, whereas this kind of is like a summary of like a past, present, and like a future. So it's kind of like a 3-card spread, but you kind of get a double card for each of the 3-card spread. So this is kind of more like a 3-card spread, but you got like 2 cards kind of summarizing what that 3 is. So like these 2 are butting against each other. So I would read this one and like this and a card laying on top of it kind of thing, or something like that. And I like this spread as far as live readings go, because sometimes it gives me more of an explanation of the situation. Especially when I'm doing strangers. It's like a 3-card spread for a stranger, but it kind of gives it a little bit more of a juicy details. And this deck, I actually would do like a doubled, would love the 6-card spread a lot more from what I'm already seeing of the images, because they kind of remind me of the Wild Unknown, where it's kind of simplistic. It's a pip deck without being a complete pip deck. It's like somewhere in the middle. And this imagery is kind of that way too. Like, for an example, if I was to do a blind reading on somebody, the 2 of Swords with the 7 of Wands, this kind of to me would say something of the nature of the balancing of communications with the something coming. I forgot what the 7 of Wands is. Rider-Waite style. I've blanked out, drew a blank, but something that kind of like bursting forth. I would say it's like that thing bursting forth and cutting through the other wands here, or cutting through something. So that's what I would see here. I actually like these cards butting up against each other like this. I was a little concerned, if Christy, if you were listening to some of my concerns earlier, I was a little concerned that this, compared to something like this image almost is too complex for the theme of the deck and what the deck really was. That was what I was a little concerned about. But now seeing it all bumped up together, it's not too bad. I don't see it as distracting as that this image is a little too complex for this image, where this image is a little bit more simpler. And if I was doing an example reading, I would have said the broken coins would be like broken physical things in the world and broken promises, maybe. And actually, this might be a reading of my life, actually, now that I'm voicing it out. And the 8 of Cups is like that rising emotions, rising above it all. And even though it seems impossible because of the draperies coming down, and it's in a very emotional time in your life when you're trying to find your way through this grapeseed or this seaweed. Oh, might be a reading about my life. Oh my goodness. Here, then my deck is trying to give me a message, and I wasn't even trying. And then, and then this card is the 10 of Cups, is that emotional fulfillment, with that 8 of Wands is that speedy information. Oh my goodness. So things are coming at you really fast, but that information is coming at you really quickly is what I got, because paper to me is like all about that information. Okay, I think I found a new deck that I want to play with. Everybody, this deck and I are like two peas and pods. It kind of we get each other. Okay, I got you. I feel you, True Black Tarot. So I already feel like that's very close to that message that I my life too, actually, without going into details on a public chat. Oh my goodness, that was an amazing message, actually, for something that I was goofing off with a message, not really going for a serious reading there. Dex would not let me be. Oh man. But yeah, this deck is truly amazing, and it's truly beautiful. And I gotta play with this more often. Oh, I think this is gonna be my new deck for a while. Just look at it. Oh my gosh. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I just love that embossing. That embossing is like, oh, I just want to touch this deck all day. Oh my goodness. I know that devil card is hot and naughty for sure. I think I have a crush on the some of the cards already. Shh. It's crazy. I have a crush on some of the images of the deck. Secretly hides in the corner. Oh, speaking of devil card, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And she said shh too. Look at that. She said shush. Naughty. This deck and I are like two peas. Oh my gosh. It's a man looking at the True Black Tarot. Yes, Arthur, if you're hearing us out there, we have some desperate women out here. I'm joking. I kids. But oh my gosh, this is just a beautiful deck. Beautiful deck. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off this chat, and so that I could keep this chat private, and then I'm gonna do a safe chat or a chat that will be taken down later. So let me go ahead and do that, so that I don't have contaminate something I was meant to do public. So I'll see you in a few minutes, everybody. Bye.